players. Do you see any like rivaling emerging technologies or things in this space that you're particularly excited about that you think will be a larger portion of revenue in the future, or that you're keeping your eye on of like, okay, this may for that thing that could disrupt SAP and Oracle, essentially.
Well, MongoDB is doing very well, and it's a product that is supported by Rimini Street. Think of Red Hat. What did Red Hat do? Red Hat took open source Linux and put a package around it to make it business acceptable, because business needs to know it can get support. It needs to know there's engineers behind it. It needs to know that it's been security checked and packaged, because those are all the risks of open source. So Rimini Street is now wrapping its proven support for databases around these open source platforms so that companies can feel comfortable deploying them. Now, SAP has some exposure to these open source, but Oracle has huge exposure. The Oracle database is the most expensive of all of them on a database per instance basis. The open source platforms are now 50% of all new databases are going open source, because they don't have to pay the tremendous fees that Oracle and the other proprietary databases charge. And these open source platforms have gotten really good. They're super strong, and they can compete in many ways with these larger proprietary products. So, yes, Oracle is at very high risk of having a large amount of its database population replaced by open source, cheaper models, and then Rimini Street providing support on it. And we're doing this for clients today, working with clients who are trying to transition a large portion of their database population to open source databases, reduce their costs, and then have Rimini Street provide that support.
Final question from me that I'm